Hello everyone, this is Knowledge Geek, and today is the second episode of the first round of the Reread, Rewrite, or Burn Battle Royale. The rules are very simple. I have taken the books I've read last year. I have eliminated the ones that are unavailable to English-speaking readers, and then I took 3 of them at random every time in every different pool, and I have put one for reread, one for rewriting, and one for burning. And it doesn't reflect on the quality of those books, because I have burned some great books and I have read some books I wouldn't read. But the whole point is that after the first round finishes, the survivors will be put again in the ballot and we'll go to the second round. And since we have 40 books and rounds of 3, that means one book will get a pass, because I can only pull 39 in 13 pulls for round 1. Let's go to the second round. If you want to learn to do this Battle Royale tag yourself, then go ahead, do it. Just add the first episode in there, in the link, your video description. Leave a comment too, because I want to see it and see what you get out of this year's books, or anything else you want, really, and get the king of the year. Round 2, the Excel sheet. I've made It Is Magic, and we have 3 candidates. We have Czech Committed Suicide by Petros Markaris, Tokyo by Mo Hader, and Metro 2034 by Dmitry Glukovsky. Czech Committed Suicide by Petros Markaris. Petros Markaris, in case you don't know who he is one of the more important and famous Greek crime authors. He's writing the Kostas Karitos novels for years and years, and if you want to have a crime novel series about Greek political history from the 70s till current year, and the whole Brexit situation and the economic crisis and all, he's a great pick in my opinion, and he is very successful abroad. Back in 2006, his novel was #1 on Italy's Amazon on crime novels, and he is very successful all over Europe. There are also English versions of his books. Czech Committed Suicide is his 3rd novel in the Carito series. It's set a little before the Olympics of 2004 that happened in Athens, and it touches upon the corruption as well as terrorism in Greece, which was an issue back then. There were some terrorist organizations that held back from the dictatorship of the 60s and 70s. Yes, there's a lot of Greek history in these novels, and I wasn't as excited with it as with his first 2 books, The Late Night News and Zone Defense, and it's about football, the European football, the soccer. It's about soccer, and I think was his best out of 3 novels I've read. And Czech Committed Suicide was a bit off in my opinion. Is it salvageable? I guess I would read this one, because Tokyo by Mo Hader was my 2nd favorite book of 2019. It's an amazing thriller about a young woman who is very troubled. She visits Tokyo in order to find some evidence about something she's read in a history book about... Yes, okay, so Tokyo is about a young woman who goes to Tokyo in order to investigate the last living witness, who allegedly has a videotape of the slaughter of Nanking, disputed war crime, the Nanking massacre that happened in 1937 when the Japanese invaded China. And she's a very troubled woman. She gets to work as an escort in a nightclub that caters to the Yakuza, and she also tracks down a Chinese professor who may know about the missing tape. And we also have the story of the slaughter of Nanking by the point of view of this man and the atrocities that happened, and it's a very brutal thriller. It's an easy read, but it's not an easy read. It's not your run-of-the-mill thriller. It's very, very interesting. It's a bit different, but still manages to hit all those tropes we love in thrillers. And there is the nurse, who's an amazing character. There's an amazing villain. She really deserves a spot as one of the best villains in a crime thriller. It was very grilling, and it's very interesting to see those two very, very broken people, both the student and the professor, and how they're broken by bad things that happen to them. I won't spoil them. It's a big, big recommendation, and it's not Tokyo always. There's an alternative title to Tokyo, and this is something that happens. The other name is The Devil of Nanking, so you can try to track it either way. It's a standalone and it's great. I've loved it. That gets the reread because I'm going to. And Metro 2034 by Dmitry Glukovsky. It's the second book in a trilogy. And while I would definitely rewrite Metro 2033 because it was a very interesting novel that needed some tightening, I would definitely burn Metro 2034 because it had a very bad premise, a lot of well, yes, it was not good, really. It's a rehash of Metro 2033, all not as good. So yes, that gets the burn. Burn. Rewrite. But it's arrogant saying that I'll rewrite the books of so many great writers, and a definite reread for Tokyo. And I have to tidy this up, and before we look at the next round, I'll show you the previous picks using technology. So last round we kept Diary of a Madman by Nikolai Gogol, Valence Day by Konstantinos Paradias, hey Kostas, Swan Song by Robert McCammon, Architects of Immortality by Brian We're going to rewrite The Valley of Fear, The Dead Girls Dance by Rachel Kane, Hellborn by Gary Bladner, Death Becomes Her by Michael Landerle, and Committed Suicide by Petros Margaris. We burned Along Came a Spider by James Patterson, because there are more Patterson that one can read. Trance by Joy Fielding, Tiliata Meditation by Clive Barker. I know, blasphemy. Don't vote me right now and leave comments saying that I'm bad, so the algorithm will, post this video. The Guild of Assassins by Alicia Troisi, and that's it. Let's move to the next three. We have Mother Puncher by Gina Renali, No Sanctuary by Richard Lemon, and Last Days by Brian Evanson. And oh boy, that's hard too. It's hard because the Last Days will be I don't know really. Which will be the reread? It's Mother Puncher or Last Days? I'm not sure. Okay, Mother Puncher. It's a very fun novella about a former professional boxer who is working in a maternity clinic. His job is to punch the mothers and fathers of newborn babies in the face as a form of birth control, because there's overpopulation and breeders should be punished. I know, it's insane. It was a very fun read. I really liked it. No Sanctuary by Richard Lemon I had a review about this one. It's in dire need of rewrites, in my opinion, because there are parts of it that are amazing and lots of clutter. Go watch the review for more information. I won't tell you that here. Go. I'll remember to leave a link to the review. And Last Days by Brian Evanson was also a very powerful read I've read this year. It was also a very short, surreal thriller. It's about a detective who has lost his hand as he's infiltrating a cult of amputees. And yes, it is exactly as weird and gruesome I describe it. So, which will be I think that No Sanctuary is a rewrite for sure, because it's not like Which You Like Better and track like that. No. I may do a video about me going through my rewrites and say what I didn't like, what I would change, and get a lot of angry yells at the things I'll say, because some of these writers are legends and they're obviously better than me. And what do I know? I'm just some dork on YouTube telling stuff to you people, and you're absolutely right if you think of that. Really, I won't blame you. Which one reread? Last Days or Mother Puncher? I mean, Mother Passion was fun. The premise was lots of fun. Really, I'll burn this one because Last Days was amazing. The writing was really, really great. It's worth another read, in my opinion. Some Mother Puncher gets punched out. And as you can see, we have different books coming along, and as we change the seat, that's bad. All right, pull 3 of episode 2 of round 1. It's getting complicated, really. We have Black Echo by Michael Connelly. It's his first Harry Bosch novel. The Speed by Thomas Page, which was it's an 80s horror book that was re-released in Paperback from Hell, the series, and The Reapers by John Connolly. The Reapers is the 7th book in the Charlie Parker series by John Connolly. John Connolly is a thriller horror author from Ireland. He has this long series of detective novels featuring Charlie Parker. His first novel, Every Dead Thing, was awesome. It's recommended by the channel, but it's not in this list. This one, it was a side novel because it features 2 other characters, 2 supporting characters of his novels. Angel and Louis, they are 2 assassins, gay assassin couple with hearts of gold. Well, Angel has a heart of gold. Louis doesn't. Louis, you don't want to mess with Louis. And it's their own story and how they get involved in an assassin free-for-all. You know what? I could skip that one. Or not. You know what? No, that's a reread because the other 2 books I liked even less. Black Echo was procedural. And even though I read a lot of crime novels lately, I'm not a big fan of procedurals or crime novels in general, as I've discovered this year, as I was expanding my interest to more readers, to more writers, to different writings, different authors. The Spirit, on the other hand, is it's a Bigfoot novel. There's a great review on Goodreads about it. I'll read it to you. Because this guy who did this review definitely deserves acclaim. There's this guy that says, clap, because this guy is awesome. Go on, dude. Probably the best of the Bigfoot books. It's funny. There are no long, boring speculative lectures on the feeding and mating habits of Bigfoot. English grammar is treated with respect, and Bigfoot doesn't rape anyone. In terms of big fiction, it qualified it for the Pulitzer. Okay, that's a review. That's an amazing review. I mean, I was on a podcast about a lot of 70s and 80s horror novels, which was not in English, so I cannot link it here. And we read this review about The Spirit, and we were laughing for a minute or 2. All 3 were laughing because that's the best review ever. Seriously, if you have to write a review for a mediocre book, a fun but not great book, that's how you do it. So yeah, we're back to boring stuff. Let's see. The Reapers gets the reread, and Black Echo gets some burning, really, because there was nothing wrong about the book. In my book, I think it was great for its intended audience and its genre. It was just not for me. It happens. Seriously, it does. And I'll give The Spirit a rewrite to tighten it up because it was fun, but I think it took too long to get to the point, and really, I mean, it's not a great book, so it's an easy write. Seriously, there's something wrong with this Excel because that's another problem. You get repeat results when the list gets smaller. Alright, we have Night of the Seventh Darkness by Daniel Listerman. You Should Have Left by Daniel Kellman. It's a novella by a German novelist. And Echo Burning by Lee Child. Ooh, that's hard because I have 2 burns for this one. No, really. No, really. Okay, I have a very easy burn. Night of the Seventh Darkness by Daniel Listerman. That's another crime novel. It's a thriller about voodoo in New York. Alright, that's the final pull for this episode. We have Hate by Paul Bellow, Echo Burning by Lit Child, and Glass House by Rachel Kane. Hate is self-published. It's a lit RPG book which I have received as an arc, and it's about 3 teenagers getting trapped in a virtual reality game. It was a really interesting novel. I'll try to get the rest of the series when it's completed. I had lots of fun reading it, and I really enjoy it. Echo Burning by Lit Child is the 5th Jack Reacher novel. Lit Child novels are fun, but only as long as Jack Reacher is proactive. When he's reactive, they sort of drag a bit, and this one is in Texas. It's about Jack Reacher trying to protect a woman whose husband is in jail, and she's in his parents' place where creeps and mistreat them, and we're not sure who lies or what and why. So yes, there was a lot of Jack Reacher being around and waiting for stuff to happen to really enjoy it. It was fun though. And Glass House by Rachel Kane, it was the first in a series, The Morgan of Vampires. We have burned the second one. No, we're writing the second one. It was fun. It was about a college girl who gets to stay in the same place with 3 other outcasts in a city that's ruled by vampires in Morganville, Texas. And it was a fun read. I really enjoyed it, and I'm not a big fan of young adult books or new adult books, so, take it in your own way if it's good or not. I guess Hate will be the reread of this one because I really enjoyed it. There's not much things I could fix with Glass Houses, to be fair, but at the same time I enjoy Lit Child books for the simple reason that they're so disposable. You read them once, you have fun, and then you dump them. They're travel books, in my opinion. They're there to read when you want to have a fun, adventurous read, and you don't have to read them again. So I guess Lit Child gets burned, and Glass Houses will be rewritten along with the Dead Girls Dance. So we'll have... what can we do about this one? Really, what bothered me about this series of books is that this one, especially Glass Houses, is that it finishes with a cliffhanger. The characters are very interesting and it's fun read. I will probably get those 2 books and tie them together, I guess. I don't know. Oh well. Difficult decisions. So yes, that's the end of pull 2. We have 16 more books. That means 5 more pulls. I guess this is episode 3. If you like this video, you can like and subscribe, and especially if you want to see who wins the Battle Royale. If you want to do the tag, go ahead, do that. Just leave a link to the original which explains the rules, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.